Welcome to the Charleston, Roanoke, and Eastern Railway. Here at Lewisburg, West Virginia, Norfolk Southern Coal Train number 712 gets underway after a crew change. NS 712 handles coal loads to Georgia Power that originated on the Kessler and Northern Branch at Sam Creek, West Virginia. Norfolk Southern 712 is seen here passing through Archer Fork, West Virginia, and crossing over the Brushy Mountain Railroad. The Brushy Mountain is a short line that interchanges with the CR&E at Lewisburg. 712 enters Glace, West Virginia, where it will soon stop to pick up pushers for the climb up over the mountain into Virginia. A string of auto racks is seen stored here in the middle track at Glace, West Virginia, as 712 continues to roll into this small community at the base of the Allegheny Grade. "712 pulls up to a stop signal at Cove Mountain, the east end of the siding here at Glace. The crew will wait for the pusher to tie on before going up the mountain. C91, the first shift pusher crew, has a pair of Southern Railway SD40-2s still wearing the Southern's tuxedo paint scheme. The dispatcher lines up C91 with a westbound signal out of the siding onto the main line at Glace. The pusher ties on, and after completing the necessary brake test, the head end will call for a signal to start the climb up the grade from Cove Mountain. The climb up the looping mountain grade to Paint Bank is underway now as the head end enters Middle Mountain Tunnel east of Glace. At Anderson, 712 rounds a horseshoe curve and passes through a tunnel before re-emerging near Camp 2 on the second level of the climb. The head end approaches the road crossing at Camp 2, and soon the pushers come into view at the signal at Anderson below. Climbing the toughest part of the grade, eastbound 712 is passing the siding switch at Ridge and will soon be stopping at Coleman to meet a westbound out of Roanoke. The pair of General Electric C-39-8 locomotives is easing up to a stop at the signal at Coleman. Around the curve at the other end of the siding, the pushers are stopping in the plant at Ridge. This train doesn't clear between the switches. While 712 was climbing the mountain, westbound extra train M37, a Conrail run-through, was leaving Roanoke and getting a signal off the N&W Christiansburg district to enter CR&E territory. M37 knocks down the signal at Catawba and prepares to cross Virginia Highway 311, passing the Catawba General Store just west of town. M37 rolls through the community of Abbott, Virginia, along Craig Creek, and will soon be passing through Walton Tunnel and then Broad Run Tunnel before entering Newcastle, Virginia. The train has just exited Broad Run Tunnel and is now crossing Broad Run on a through truss bridge before taking the signal at Jefferson, the east end of the passing siding at Newcastle. At S.J. Tower, the CSX Shenandoah Division crosses the CR&E main line. Here, a westbound CSX empty train waits to enter CR&E rails for its trip to Meadow Bluff, West Virginia, where it will get on the Kessler and Northern District and have access to mines on the Nicholas, Fayette, and Greenbrier. M37 is climbing the grade through Johns Creek Tunnel Number 2 and approaching the Johns Creek Viaduct, which is a brief level spot on the westbound grade toward Paint Bank. the grade crests from both directions at Smith Summit, just east of Paint Bank, Virginia. Here you can see the head end topping the grade and beginning the descent toward Paint Bank and eventually Glace and Lewisburg, West Virginia. M37 is now dropping down grade between Paint Bank and Forester, Virginia. Here the train is seen at Wet Rock Cut and will soon be passing through Cove Tunnel before arriving at the siding location at Ridge, where it will meet eastbound 712. M37 is snaking through the siding between Coleman and Ridge as 712 waits on the main line. The rear end of train 712 is still standing in the plant at Ridge. However, M37 is short enough to clear between the switches, so soon both trains will be underway. The meet successfully completed, 712 gets a signal at Coleman and begins to move off toward Roanoke. They'll stop in a few miles at Paint Bank to cut the pushers off the rear. Back at Ridge, 712's pushers are finally out of the plant, so the dispatcher can line the route for M37 out of the siding to begin its downhill trip. We'll close this video with one final view of M37 descending the loops toward Glace, West Virginia. This train will eventually end up in Columbus, Ohio, utilizing Conrail's West Virginia Secondary west of Golly Bridge, West Virginia. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon here on the Charleston, Roanoke, and Eastern Railway.